just basketball. At the end of the day, it's just basketball. Hey, everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
But at the end of the day, all the people that was rooting on me to fail, at the end of the day, they got to wake up tomorrow and have the same life that they had before they woke up today. They got the same personal problems that they had today. And I'm going to continue to live the way I want to live and continue to do the things that I want to do.
Like and subscribe. On the way in the door, my people. I hope you all are having a truly fantastic day today. Welcome back to Fanboy Fridays, fanboys. We hope your day is going terrible. This will be a good video for you fanboys. This will be a good video to talk about your king. So I was scrolling through YouTube the other day and came across a video entitled NBA OGs, Friends and Rivals. And this is from the official NBA YouTube channel. And so I clicked on, and you had Kevin Durant, you had the Duck, and you had Steph Curry, and what I would say is a fairly uninsightful conversation. But they were talking about various things. They were talking about competitiveness. They were just talking about, I guess, their relationship kind of on and off the court, kind of their legacies and what they've done in the NBA. And, so we're going to check out this clip and then I'll weigh in on what we hear.
To be able to get to this level. And then the battles on the court too, like you look at each other a lot of different ways when you're on the cross the line and when you're teammates and whatnot, but that respect is always there. So just to see how the whole package has evolved over the course of our careers is, I don't know if we really, like even right now, like we still have a lot to accomplish on the court.
Not according to LeBron James. No, LeBron has nothing left to accomplish.
This is a good moment to kind of take a breath and talk about it a little bit, but I think that time's coming even down the road when it's all said and done, even more so, just because it is truly, I hate talking about ourselves like that, but it's an iconic kind of thing to be able to talk about basketball life the way that we can, and give honor to all the people that have helped us get here. So it's pretty dope to know, what we've been able to accomplish.
Years of just hearing these guys talk, hearing Bron talk coming up, and he always emphasized keeping the main thing. And you see how much balance, these guys have with their lives. I don't have kids and a family and a wife, but these guys, we all businessmen, we all doing things off the floor. But to still get up to go to the gym at 6 a.m., to still want to put up 1,000 shots every day, to still love the game the way you love it with all the distractions that's being thrown at you, the high expectations from everybody around you. But to keep that joy and love for the game first is something that I admire. And that's what's keeping me going, keeping all of us going. There's that love of the game, and that shines bright every time you see them step on the floor. And then when you see them as teammates and how they prepare for those games, it just brings a smile to my face because, these guys are pushing, we all pushing the game forward. We at the point of our careers where, we got, guys that were kids when we were first coming in, now they're grown-ups, and we helped them, at some point inspired them throughout their lives to want to be NBA players, and then you see that full circle, and we still here with them. Son playing on the same team, Like you said, Ant was 12, 13 years old probably when he seen me play for the first time, and down to hoop with these guys and still be at that level, it's cool. But that's from just keeping the main thing.
All right, so people, I'm gonna need you to chime in on this one. I'm gonna need you to chime in because when I listen to the three of them interact, I don't feel any competitiveness amongst them. Just right off the bat, I would say Steph Curry seems to be the most humble of the three. But hearing the three interact, I don't feel any competitiveness. And you guys should go, if you can tolerate, watching LeBron James, you should go check out the video. But yeah, I just don't get that sense of competitiveness, and I get a bigger sense of being careful of not to step on anybody's toes. It's something is missing between that interaction. And when I think about, even when you would see, if you want to think back to the Dream Team, when you would see Larry and Magic and Mike hanging out, and Michael Jordan hanging out, to me, even though it was good camaraderie, there was always a strong sense of competition that you could feel between the three of those guys. And I say the three of those guys, that's just who came to mind at first, but I would say just in general during those times. Like, even if guys had good camaraderie between them, you could still feel that sense of competition. I mean, we can go back to the top 75 ceremony when, as soon as Michael Jordan saw Magic, he's like, hey, you got your shoes? I'll take you out right now. And that's the kind of thing, based off this conversation, I don't see any of that kind of thing happening between Kevin Durant, LeBron James, and Steph Curry. I don't see that kind of challenging you kind of attitude. And so, again, Steph Curry talked about, like I said, Steph Curry seems like the most humble one of all. And he talked about, still having things left to accomplish. Ironically, it was just this year, it was just a few months ago, where LeBron James told a reporter he didn't have anything left to accomplish, that everything else is just icing on the cake. And I think, this really just points to the inconsistency of LeBron James, on top of being a liar. And I think we can say that with certainty because there's plenty of evidence of the guy just actually lying. But it also speaks to just the inconsistency. It speaks to him, he's shaking his head when Steph Curry is saying, we have more to accomplish. But again, LeBron James, you just said a few months ago that everything else at this point was icing on the cake for you. So, it's that inability to, well, to me, it's really this simple. When you don't have something of substance that you're focused on, then this is the results you get. You get those inconsistencies. Like the reason Michael Jordan, if you listen to Michael Jordan at the beginning of his career, it's the same thing as the end of his career, except you could tell he just gained more and more knowledge about the game. He gained more and more wisdom on life, but he was solid right from the very beginning. Right from the very beginning, he was level-headed, had his shoulders on straight. He came, his head on straight. He came into the city of Chicago, not promising them championships, but to say he would do his best to try to turn the organization around. But yeah, when you think about LeBron James, every single thing about his career is inconsistent. And to me, that has played out in what his career is. But even if we're talking about, Kevin Durant and Steph Curry, they were kind of talking about, first of all, Kevin Durant made a statement about, they're all pushing the game forward. And to me, again, that's super subjective. As a matter of fact, I would go as far as to say to me, that is completely false for a lot of reasons. Just on the surface level, you can look at a guy like Steph Curry and Kevin Durant and say, yeah, man, these guys are skilled and they've done some amazing things. And for Kevin Durant to be as tall as he is and have some decent handles and plenty of moves, again, to me, if you watch Kevin Durant play, it is clear that he studied Michael Jordan with no mistakes about it. If you watch Steph Curry and the handles, to me, Steph Curry is probably one of the underrated ball handlers of this generation. And you watch Steph Curry, the way he can handle and maneuver and play off ball. And obviously one of the greatest shooters. You know, on the surface, these things all sound great. But here's the problem for me. I will never be able to judge how skilled you are unless you played in an era with the same kind of obstacles that the people who I consider highly skilled, unless you play against that same kind of obstacles. You know, unless you played against the physicality. Again, when we saw Kevin Durant in a New Jersey Net uniform playing against Boston in the playoffs, and they allowed Boston to play a little bit physical, Kevin Durant was derailed. That you can't deny it. Like, go watch the tape. There's no denying it. Kevin Durant was derailed. Kyrie Irving was derailed. So when you want to talk about you're pushing the game forward, I can't agree with that statement at all. When you want to talk about, you know, these players being skilled, it's like, I can't agree with that statement. Like, I need to see proof. And the proof is a direct apples to apples comparison, meaning that the circumstances have to be as hard as they were for the previous players. This is how you find out, is if you can play with some contact. If you can get those shots off with some contact. Not only get the shots off, that's one part, is if you get the shots off. But then the thing is, the fourth quarter, you're going to be a lot more tired from playing 3 quarters of physicality. And then going into the fourth, that physicality starts to wear on you. So not only can you even get those shots off and make those shots with physicality, can you keep that stamina up for the entire game? Because a lot of these players, even with no physicality, we see them running out of gas in the fourth quarter. So yeah, you know, this is I'm curious to know what you guys think about this interaction that you hear. Like I said, you know, if you got time to waste, if you can tolerate listening to the Duck's voice, you should go check out the interview. Not that you're gonna learn anything insightful, but just to, you know, like I said, I want to know, you know, is it just me, or is there like this fear of offending the other players, the other superstars? This is what it feels like in the modern NBA, is everybody's afraid of offending each other. You know, and again, even when you're talking about players who may be cocky like Ja Morant or somebody like that, well, then you got to get into a whole nother thing of these players just can't back anything up. Him and Anthony Edwards and guys like that, you know, who may talk some trash, but not backing anything up. And I would dare to say, even these guys are not as competitive as they try to make it seem, because again, you know, they're not competing in the All-Star game. To me, if you're a competitor, that takes over anytime there's a chance to compete. If you're a real competitor, it takes over. Like you don't have to be paid or motivated to compete. Like that can only happen in a world where your competitive level is not what the previous generation's competitive level was. You know, and unfortunately, you know, we say this all the time, Kobe was the last one holding that standard. Kobe was the last one in the All-Star game going at the false king and exposing the Duck for being a coward, to be honest. I mean, it's no way around it. Again, I've said this many times, LeBron James is an alpha until the alpha shows up. And that's Kobe Bryant proved this over and over again. Like LeBron James is a coward, unwilling to compete. And this is the era that it is. It's like these superstars, I wouldn't even say they're friends, but I would more so say they're just, everybody's afraid of stepping on each other's toes. And no matter what kind of interaction you see in the game, I've seen LeBron and Steph jawing at each other a little bit, but it's never an ongoing thing. It's just a momentary thing that comes out, and I would argue that's more more based in the moment of, you know, players being cocky and whatnot versus just being a competitor versus talking trash because you're actually trying to get inside your opponent's head like they used to do back in the day. It's like trash talking is part of the strategy. It's like, can you play when I'm scoring on you and telling you about it? Or are you gonna break down and cower away? But anyway, we gonna hold up here. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. If any of you have seen that interview, let me know what you think. But even from the clips that we play here today, let me know what you think. Is it just me, or do these players just really don't seem like there's a real competitive thing between them? Like I said, to me, it really feels like they're trying not to step on each other's toes and just trying to pat each other on the back and tell each other how great they are. And but anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments. You all have a truly, truly fantastic day, and I'll see you next time. All right.